Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Anthony for VR Game Rankings, and this, of course, is our daily vlog series, and we have now finally hit episode 39. It is Friday. It is November 24th, and today is Black Friday. So everybody, you're probably scrambling around, driving all around town, waiting in incredibly long lines to get that big HD TV, right? No, you're not? Okay, so you're smart. You're like me, and you don't bother with a lot of this Black Friday stuff unless it's online and you can simply click on something and buy something without too much trouble. In that case, Black Friday is actually a pretty wonderful situation. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the news? I have a handful of Black Friday related stuff. I have a couple of non-Black Friday stuff, and we'll just see how far we go along. This could be one of my shorter episodes. I do want to apologize to everybody out there because I'm actually recording this like almost an hour and a half later than I should be. I'm just way behind schedule today, got up late, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. So anyway, just a little bit late. So unfortunately, you guys are not going to get this on YouTube until quite a bit later today. But it's okay because tomorrow is Saturday, so a lot of you will probably see this on Saturday anyways. So it should work out okay. All right, so let's get into the number one news story of the day. And the number one news story is the Oculus Rift is $350 on Black Friday today at multiple places and multiple locations. Now, at first, we heard about the Oculus Rift was going to be $350 at Best Buy, but we also heard that this was one of those doorbuster types of deals. And a lot of times when it comes to these doorbuster sales, what'll happen is the retailer will only have a handful of items on stock. For example, it'll say like a guarantee of 5 units per store or something like that. So there's a guarantee of a small number of units, but once those units sell out, that's it. And so the way this works a lot of times is if you're not willing to stand in line for like 5 or 6 hours in the blistering cold to get into Best Buy and be one of the earliest people that are in the store, you might not get this deal. And so when it was first announced about this $350 deal at Best Buy, it wasn't necessarily this earth-shattering thing because a lot of people thought, hey, you know, not that many people are going to be able to take advantage of this. It's kind of like when they have those TVs at Best Buy, there's usually only a couple of people that are going to get that really incredible TV deal and everybody else doesn't get it. Well, it's been a little bit different with this story because first of all, I believe this might have been Thursday, or maybe it was Wednesday, but there was a brief moment of time where you could go to the Best Buy website and you could actually order this deal way ahead of time. I don't know if it was some type of computer error or something like that, but I believe the loophole got shut down and people were no longer able to do this. But for a little while, you could have just gone to Best Buy's website and grabbed the thing for $350 and lock it in without having to worry about anything. But then, of course, we hear the big news that Oculus.com is also going to participate in this deal. And so you can go to Oculus right now and you can pick up yourself a Rift for $350. And it does say while supplies last. So it is conceivable that they will cut this promotion off at a certain point, but it's a great deal. A lot of people can get out there and go ahead and grab this. And what does this really mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, again, I talk about fence sitters. There's always a certain portion of people that they hear about something, they're kind of interested, but they're not that interested, and so they're the fence sitters. They're sitting on the fence, and over here is VR adoption and over there is non-VR adoption, and they can't decide whether they want to jump off that fence or not and actually become a VR player. And a deal like this where you can get an Oculus Rift for $350, I mean, this really is an outstanding deal, especially when you factor in all the free games and experiences that you also get thrown in as far as this goes as well. It is just a tremendous deal. Now, you're probably going to have to buy another sensor. You're probably going to have to buy an Initech USB card. So all of that does come into play at a certain point. But still, $350, man, that is a really solid deal. In fact, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Oculus could be losing a tiny bit of money on this particular deal at $350. It's just a really good deal for everybody out there. Now, the Vive also has a number of Black Friday deals that are going on, but I don't know that any of them are quite this aggressive. The main Black Friday deal that I knew about, of course, was the deluxe audio strap. I think GameStop had some type of Black Friday deal as well. And so there have been a number of Black Friday deals for the Vive. But man, $350 for the Rift, that is really hard to beat. So a lot of fence sitters will hopefully jump off that fence, get that splinter out of their butt, and start playing themselves some Robo Recall and some Lucky's Tale and some Dead and Buried and all that type of stuff. Yesterday, we just had a show yesterday where we talked about some of the best free experiences and games. And so all of you guys that are buying a new headset right around this time, there's so much stuff you can play without spending a single dime. I was just on the Oculus Rift subreddit and the HTC Vive subreddit earlier today, and there's a lot of people, I just bought a Vive, what game should I buy? I just bought a Rift, what game should I buy? Honestly, you really don't have to buy anything right away because there is so much free content you can sink your teeth into without having to buy a lot of stuff right away. But you know, go ahead and buy stuff because we do need the VR industry to be healthy. We need people to buy things, so that's good as well. Okay, so that was the number one story. Number two is Oculus is having a Black Friday sale on games. And I know that there are a lot of different sales that are going on around the internet for various games from different channels. We had the Green Man Gaming story. I don't know if that was like 2 days ago that we had that story. So there's a number of sales that are going on. I know Steam has a number of games that are heavily discounted as well. This Oculus sale, though, is new. I didn't see this until this morning, and I saw the list of games, and there are some pretty damn good deals. And so what I decided to do is I looked at the entire list and I tried to say, okay, what are the best deals on this list? And I would say the number one deal is probably Call of the Starseed. You can grab Call of the Star Episode 1, Call of the Starseed for $5. Okay, that is pretty freaking ridiculous. So if you've never played Call of the Starseed, this is a great opportunity to grab this game for $5. You can play through Call of the Starseed, and then later on you might grab yourself Heart of the Emberstone and complete that 2-game set. And so $5, I mean, that is just so hard to beat. I don't think there's another deal that really comes close to that. Anybody that does not have Call of the Starseed, you pretty much have to buy this. I mean, it just would not make sense for you not to buy this. Okay, another deal that I really like is Ark Angel. Ark Angel is $15. This is half off its normal $30 price. And Ark Angel is an interesting game from the standpoint that this game came out earlier this year, I believe. Well, it hit PlayStation VR first, and it was on PlayStation VR for maybe like 3 weeks before it came to Steam and Oculus. But it just didn't get a lot of notoriety. Like, a lot of people just aren't talking about Ark Angel, and I think it's a major mistake. Like, what are people thinking here? This game is a really good game. It has great production value. The voiceover work that was done by one of the main characters, well, you can be a male or a female, and the guy that did the voice work, I mean, he went above and beyond the Call of Duty with his voice work, does a really good job. I had a lot of fun with Ark Angel. In fact, I have not completely finished this game. I was playing through it on PlayStation VR. I did get a code. I don't know if it was through VR Roundtable or if it was through VR Game Rankings that I ended up getting a code for this. But I was probably a little more than halfway through Ark Angel, and I just haven't gotten back to it. That's the first world problems of being a VR game reviewer and constantly getting VR games. A lot of times you don't get to finish everything. You can get like 60-70% into something, and then something else comes out. You get your attention pulled away from it. and you don't end up finishing it. And that's the situation for me with Ark Angel. But 15 bucks, this game is crazy underrated in my personal opinion. Okay, Blasters of the Universe is 10 bucks. This game is outstanding. I played this recently on my Oculus Rift. It plays great on there, so there's no worries as far as that goes. The thing about Blasters of the Universe is some people will get into it and they'll be like, oh my god, it's too chaotic, I can't deal with it. The number one thing that you have to understand about Blasters of the Universe is all these different shots will be coming at you from all these enemies that are shooting you. And if you think about your body, you think there's no way I can avoid all of these shots. But the thing is, you don't have to worry about your body. The shots have to hit your head. So you just have to think about your head. And so tons of bullets will be flying at you. But if you just move your head in the right spot, you can avoid all these bullets. And sometimes bullets will come at you and they'll have like a circular pattern. And you actually could guide your head right into the middle, and then the bullets just go right around you. And so once you learn this, and you learn the combination of when to use your shield, when not to use your shield, Blasters of the Universe, tremendously underrated, and they've added some more story stuff. They've kind of polished it up a little bit. Great game for $10. Bloody Zombies. I was talking yesterday about Lucky's Tale, and I was talking about how people throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to these third-person games. Bloody Zombies is very much a third-person game. It's a side-scrolling game. It's kind of that diorama style. Looks really good, very colorful. It plays well. You can get this for $6.69 on this Oculus deal. It is normally a $15 game. It's published by In Dreams. I forget the name of the developer off the top of my head, but Bloody Zombies, I've really enjoyed this. And the thing that I thought about when I was playing Bloody Zombies, I couldn't help but think about all the classic side-scrolling platformers from the 8-bit and 16-bit days, you know, like Castlevania. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about, man, if they redid Castlevania with this type of look where you had like this diorama and you could look at Castlevania from that perspective and be able to play the game like that, that would be super awesome. And that's, Bloody Zombies is more of a brawler. It's more of a Streets of Rage or a Final Fight type of game. It's not really the Castlevania style, but I couldn't help but think about that as I played through Bloody Zombies. Great game for $6.70. Carnival Games is only $5. This has a regular $20 price. Carnival Games has a lot of cool stuff to screw around with. I played this on PlayStation VR, and it just feels good. It's a pretty good game. There's a lot of fun mini games that you can play in it, and it works out pretty well. So, I mean, Carnival Games, $5, that is not a bad deal by any stretch of the imagination. Form, the puzzle game, is $10. This is normally $15. Before, I actually believe that Form was priced like $25 or something a long time ago. Then it got chopped down to $15, which was its new price. Well, you can temporarily grab this game for $10. And the thing about Form, I haven't played this yet myself, but at this $10 price, I'm most likely going to be grabbing this if I remember to do it, because the thing that I've heard about Form is I will talk about Heart of the Emberstone, and I will talk about the Talos Principle, and I'll talk about Super Hypercube and Static and some of the best puzzle type games that we have in VR, and somebody will say, hey, what about Form? Form is one of the best puzzle games we have. It's relatively short, but it's really good. It's a really good puzzle game. So Form is only $10. Hopefully I remember to grab this later today, because this one has been one that I've been interested in and I just keep forgetting about it. Carnage Chronicles is $16. This is normally $25. I mean, PlayStation VR players are playing Skyrim VR right now, and Skyrim VR is a masterful game. It's really incredible. It has a ton of issues, don't get it twisted, but it's still just so amazing to go into that world. But for HTC Vive players and for Oculus Rift players, we have games like Carnage Chronicles, Vanishing Realms, The Mage's Tale. We have a number of dungeon crawler type games, and Carnage Chronicles is one of the better ones, and it's on sale for $16. They redid a lot of stuff in the Carnage Chronicles. When you first start the game, there's more of a story and there's more content that has been added to it. So the developers, Nordic Trolls, have continued to bang away and work on Carnage Chronicles. So this is a great opportunity to grab this for $16. Werewolves Within is $10.50. I think it's $10.49 actually, $10.49. This is normally $30. Now, obviously, most people, when they think of this, they would think of Star Trek Bridge Crew, and Star Trek Bridge Crew is a newer game. I believe Star Trek Bridge Crew is on sale as well, but not a big discount for that one. But Werewolves Within, I mean, you can grab this for $10.50. That's not a huge expense, and you can kind of get a feel for the multiplayer action that Werewolves Within provides. It's more of a social kind of experience, almost like you're playing a board game, but you're playing it with a bunch of other VR players together, and that's a pretty good deal. Normally $30, probably overpriced, honestly, at $30 at this point. This should probably be priced at like $19.99 regular price, but still $10.50, that would almost be half that price. So that's still a relatively good deal. And the last one that I'll mention is Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity is $20. It is half off, normally $40. Paranormal Activity, I'll say, I don't think it was ever worth $40, and I'm not even sure it's worth $30, but at $20, it's probably worth taking a good hard look at. Now, I might recommend, say, Organ Quarter ahead of this, even though the combat of Organ Quarter is very lackluster. Paranormal Activity is pretty good. It's a little janky in some spots from the standpoint of like trying to grab things and pick things up. I don't know, the controls are a little bit sketchy. But not a bad deal for $20. So those are some of the games I'm going to highlight from this particular Oculus Black Friday sale. I'm not sure how long this sale is lasting. I don't know if it expires really quickly today. And like I said, this show is going to be late. I'm super late in recording this show, and so it's going to be delayed. So my apologies if by the time you guys watch all of this, all of these sales are over with. That would suck, but oh well, it's the type of stuff that does happen. Okay, my third story of the day is there is a Black Friday deal on some PC towers. So if you are a VR gamer, one of the things that you're going to need, unless you're a PlayStation 4, a PSVR gamer, you're going to need a PC that can be able to run this stuff. And it can get rather expensive if you want to have a PC that can run VR. Now, this is a lower level PC. This is kind of very entry level, but it should be able to run a lot of VR games relatively well. This Black Friday deal is for a PC tower at Walmart for $500, and this is the Hewlett-Packard Pavilion Power 580-023W gaming tower. It includes an Intel Core i5 7400 processor. It has a GTX 1060 3GB graphics card. It's got 8GB of memory, a 1TB hard drive. It does have Windows 10. Now, one of the questions that you have to ask anytime you're going to think about buying a PC or building a PC, you have to ask that question: am I going to buy a pre-built PC? Am I going to build my own? 9 times out of 10, it's better to build your own because you'll get better parts. You'll pick the motherboard that you get, the memory that you get, all of the little pieces that you get are going to probably be better than the pieces that they throw into a lot of this stuff. However, at a certain point, the price gets low enough where buying a pre-built PC is not a bad idea, because this comes with Windows 10 and you have to actually buy like a license to Windows 10 if you're building your own PC. And so this is a way that you don't have to pay for that. It does have that GTX 1060 in there. It does have an Intel i5. I'm not really sure about this particular Intel i5, if it's that great or not. It's probably not the best. But what I'm trying to say here is that this PC will probably run a lot of VR games relatively well, but some of the most demanding games might struggle a little bit. But it's not a bad deal. $500 for a tower that can drive some VR experiences. Okay, now my fourth story is somebody in Louisiana, in the United States, in Louisiana, they were at a Walmart and they found Doom VFR. It was sitting there on the shelf. They grabbed it and they bought it, and they took it home and they are playing it. And so this was a Reddit post on Reddit, and this guy said that, he said, look, I've been playing this for an hour. I'm going to give you my first impressions, and I'm going to go ahead and read this because this pertains to everybody really, because Doom VFR is coming on December 1st, which is not that far away. It's kind of surprising. Why would this already be out at Walmart? You wouldn't even think that this would have arrived anywhere yet, but it already has. So anyway, here's what he says about it. Graphics. Not too blurry on my OG PS4. Would have liked to see more curving on loading screens instead of flat rectangular screens, but you get to stand in the middle of a flaming pentagram, which is nice. Would love to play this on a Pro. Controls. I used all three types. DualShock 4 felt really nice and by far the smoothest. Aim controller while sitting was really hard to manage, but standing was great and the most immersive. No crosshairs with aim, but it was still fun. Moves were the worst in my opinion, since they do not have sticks yet. Fix this and it'll probably be my go-to. D-pad gives you a quick movement either forward, backward, right, or left. Gameplay. Okay, moving around took a while to get the hang of only because there are so many options. Want free movement? Got it. Get motion sick and want sectional turning? Yep. Teleporting? Big 10-4. Teleporting is done with the R2 and always active so you can get behind enemies or to high places quickly. It's not an option, it's an enhancement. Okay, so the big news here is smooth movement is available. So go anywhere, smooth movement, natural locomotion, whatever you want to call it. It is in Doom VFR, so this has now been absolutely confirmed because this guy has the actual physical game. He is actually playing it right now. So that is good news for all of us as far as Doom VFR. We all want that smooth movement option to be available, and it looks like it is available. So that is good news. And man, this guy that got this game early, he can play through this entire Doom, and then he could throw this thing up on eBay for like $200 and provide like overnight shipping, and I guarantee you some big time YouTuber will buy it immediately so that they can play through it and do streams and stuff like that. So this guy really hit the jackpot on that. I'm almost tempted to drive down to my local Walmart and see if I could get lucky. Okay, so actually I got two more news stories, so I got to try to bang through these quickly. Seeking Dawn has been confirmed for a 2018 release, and the PlayStation VR version is alive and well. Okay, so apparently there was a post on Facebook, on the Multiverse Entertainment Facebook, about Seeking Dawn. Now, I actually went to their Facebook site, and I could not find this post, but I'm sure it's there. So anyway, the Redditor guy, he copied it, and I'll go ahead and read what they had to say. Okay, this is an admin at Multiverse Entertainment. He says, "We have some good news on this day of thanks. We can finally safely say that PSVR is confirmed. With that said, keep in mind that it will not release at the same time as the PC version for Rift and Vive, but we will be doing our best to get them to release around the same time. We also have a release period in mind that we don't intend on changing. We will share more details on release date and beta testing within the next few weeks. Release date will be in 2018. We hope that everyone has a fun and safe Thanksgiving and holiday weekend." Okay, so the big news here is, number one, Seeking Dawn is coming in 2018. For a long time, this was a fourth quarter game. If you actually go to VR Game Rankings, we changed this to a first quarter 2018 game. We kind of had a feeling that it was not coming in the fourth quarter. It was pretty obvious about that. The PSVR version, there were serious concerns that the PSVR version wasn't going to happen because a number of times the Seeking Dawn developers tweeted out that they were having major problems trying to get the game to work on the PlayStation 4 and PSVR. So apparently they must have solved those issues. It is definitely coming to PSVR. So that's good news. It's coming to all the major platforms. hopefully relatively early in 2018. Seeking Dawn, the visuals look amazing. This game looks really good. We'll have to see if it actually lives up to the hype. Speaking about games living up to the hype, Rebo, Rise of the New Hoard, is an HTC Vive exclusive as far as I know. Although you should be able to play this with your Oculus Rift. It's just the controls will not be dialed in for the Rift, so keep that in mind. But Rebo, Rise of the New Hoard, back in the summer, I believe this was at the China Joy conference in China, where they were showing off a ton of games. HTC was there and they were bragging about how this is a real AAA game. The graphics are incredible, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's when we first heard about Rebo, Rise of the New Hoard. Haven't heard that much about it, but then it got a Steam page, and the Steam page said it was coming out in November. Well, guess what? You can get a demo for this game right now on Steam. However, there is a catch. You gotta fork over 99 cents. Yeah, this is a paid demo. And if you look at their Steam page, you'll realize that these guys, English is not their primary language. This is a Chinese developer, Dark Lord, and I don't think they really understand a lot about how Steam works, and they didn't put this in early access. There's a lot of little things. But anyway, bottom line, it's 99 cents. It's not free. That kind of sucks. But if you want to get a quick first look at Rebo, it is not a bad idea. I have not had a chance to check this out yet, although I definitely do want to try this because this is a big potential release. Upload VR does have a story about this right now. I will read what the developer said on their Steam page. It says, "Hello everyone. Yes, this is true. The Rebo demo is just 99 cents. The reasons it is so inexpensive is because this demo very short. Don't let that fool you. We want to show everyone what the game is about and what the future holds for everyone. We believe it would be unfair to ask the community to purchase a game at full price at this point. It is important for us to be totally transparent to the community. Honesty will get you far in life." I do agree with that. "Keep in mind there will be a discount for those who buy the demo. Look for many patches and updates as we work towards full release, and please feel free to leave your reviews and post any questions, recommendations, or concerns on our discussion forums or private messages to your team members." Once again, thank you for your interest in Rebo. Okay, so Upload VR had a story on this. They tried out the demo. One of the things they said is they were surprised by how good the graphics looked in certain spots, but then in other parts there was some problems. So basically the gist of it was graphically this thing, they were saying there was certain parts of it that almost looked like Gears of War or something, like a real high-end production that had millions of dollars spent on it, but then other parts of it were quite a bit more janky, and the demo is very short and blah, 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 blah. So basically, you know, 99 cents for this demo, kind of weird, but you know, it is what it is. I hope to try this out, and I will be reporting on that hopefully on Monday if I don't forget about it. So anyway, guys, we are really close to the 28-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and call this show because, like I said, I'm already way late on recording this. I still got to edit this thing and get it uploaded and do that whole rigmarole. So this will be delayed. My apologies for this episode coming up so late, but this has been episode 39 of VR Game Rankings Daily Vlog Series for Black Friday, November 24th. And I will, of course, see everybody on Monday. We do not have shows on Saturday or Sunday. Thank God. I get to take a little bit of a break, although I'll probably be on the VR Roundtable episode, so I still got to record another day this week. But basically, I'll see you guys on Monday. So take it easy and have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. Everybody stay safe. Don't buy too much today. And oh, one last thing. Saturday is Small Business Saturday. So go out there and spend some money at some of your small businesses and support your small businesses. And that's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Take it easy. Have a great weekend. Later.